Hello everybody, welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob and today we're doing one of these dang unboxings. I don't know why I do them. But anyways, I'm so excited today. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, welcome. If you're interested in Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth, today I'm unboxing this bad boy, the Spreading War expansion. Yes, which I've had for like a month. I have not opened it. I was looking at it. Mel wants to paint it. I thought, let's open it. And since we had a live stream last week unboxing the revised core set for Lord of the Rings, the living card game, I thought, hey, why not do another one of those live unboxings where we just kind of hang out casually, go through what's in the box, see what's new, that kind of stuff. Also test out my camera and some settings and things. So, you know, prepping for some live streams. If you're looking to see this game played, there are links down in the video description to all the playlists of all the campaigns for Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth that we played. If you're looking for any of those, up to this point, they're there. We're currently playing through the Haunting of Dale campaign. And for those that are following along, tonight's episode again was delayed. Kyle's just dealing with some family stuff. So he'll be here next week, hopefully. But I have it scheduled for next week. Set a reminder, so even if I move it, you'll still get reminded when episode 5 goes live, and we're continuing that campaign. So yeah, so just letting you know. So I scheduled this unboxing and then found out about the Kyle thing after, just FYI. I was gonna like stream 2 streams today, but instead we're gonna switch to we're streaming Lord of the Rings, the living card game core set, the revised core set campaign. We're gonna start that tomorrow evening. So tonight we're gonna play it again a little bit. We played it a bit last night, built some decks, thanks to Orbit, one of our producers, for hooking us up with some decks that we tried out last night, and they seem pretty good in the first playthrough of them. But we're gonna play them a little more tonight, and then we'll live stream tomorrow and start that campaign. So if you're looking for that, check the main channel, youtube.com/Rob's Gaming Table, and set a reminder or subscribe and set on notifications, and you'll get notified when we go live. But that's what's happening now, so just so you know. There's Kyle. Yeah, no worries, Kyle. No worries, man. It's all good. I'm just letting everyone know that why we're not streaming tonight. So yeah, so it's not because I'm mad at Kyle or anything. That's why he's not coming, or that's not why he's not coming. It's not me and him in a fight, I swear. I swear. That's all good. So today we're going to look at Lord of the Rings, Journeys of Middle-earth, the Spreading War expansion. We're going to unbox it. We're going to go through what's new in it, take a look at it. We're not going to play it anytime soon because we're going to wait till at least we're done with the Haunting of Dale campaign. Like I said, that we're playing through live right now. Then we will incorporate this stuff in and play through the Spreading War campaign at some point in the near future, we hope. But again, no worries. Anywhere expansion on the horizon? Steven's got a question in the chat. Any more expansions on the horizon from FFG? FFG announced that this was their last big box expansions for the game. They have released this. I don't know if this is the biggest box. This might be the biggest box, but they've released different size box expansions. They've released like little ones. They've released DLC campaigns online only that require certain expansions. So there's nothing stopping Fantasy Flight Games from releasing non-big box expansions and other DLC in the future, assuming sales are good enough. But yeah, they did announce in a live stream, I believe, that this was the final big box expansion for Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth. Whatever that means, I don't know, but they're very specific. So Locator Gaming says I'm holding out for the Spreading Love expansion. Okay. Maybe that's the next one. Obviously, it's not a big box expansion, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a little box expansion, just a little bit of love. Just a little bit of love. You lol too much says, welcome to Rob's unboxing table. Yeah. Okay, all right. The unboxings aren't getting too crazy, okay? This is like the second one I've done in like the last year. No, I'm joking. I do like 2 or 3 of them a year, maybe, if that. Not really what drive me to, sit down in front of a camera. But also related to this expansion, after I get it open, I'm going to wash the miniatures, prime them up. Mel is going to paint them live on stream. And, well, some of them live on stream. And the folks over at Army Painter, thanks again. Shout out to the folks over at Army Painter. They sent us early by like a month or so the speed paints. Speed paints are their competition to who is it? The contrast paints. Citadel from Games Workshop, right? It's like the contrast paints. We don't have any of those contrast paints. Mel's never painted with them, but we saw that these were coming out. They were announced like a few months back, and Mel's like, I want them. So I went and looked. There was no pre-orders yet, so I emailed the folks over at Army Painter, and they liked what Mel's been doing with the painting and like our channel, so they were like, yeah, we'll send you a starter set early. So Mel's gonna try these things out on the minis in this box, and some other minis maybe from some other games. And then eventually we'll try to get our hands on a mega set, and then we'll try to see some of the other colors that are available. So if you want to see this painted, Mel will be streaming this at some point. We'll schedule a stream in the next week or so probably. But just stay tuned for that. Mel will be painting these live, what we pull out of here, trying out some speed paints. So yeah, well, there's Mel in the chat now. Mel is gonna paint every single mini in here, streaming 3 weeks straight, non-stop. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, so she'll paint a few. We'll try out those new paints, and then yeah, then we'll get these painted before we play through it later in the year. All right. For those that don't know what this expansion is that I'm unboxing today, supposedly it was released in North America, or the US at least, January 21st, 2022. So just late last week. Today is the 25th of 2022, January. And this came out in Canada like a month ago. But again, we're right now in the middle of a pandemic, global shipping crisis. You know, it's affecting tons of things. So obviously this box shows up at whenever, wherever kind of thing. So just letting everyone know it's available. FFG has articles about it if you want to get into more in depth, you know, what it is, where it is, the price. It looks like it's $80 US. $80 US is the expansion. So yeah, let's see what we get in here. All right, let's get this plastic off here, where I lose my mind from glare off the lights. Also, one thing I'm trying to, those that are watching this live, I'm just fooling around with the YouTube 4K settings, which I know are horrible for chat delay. So there's like a 30-second to a minute lag between when I see your chat messages from when you send them. I will not be streaming this way normally. I value reading the chat more live, you know, with less delay. But for an unboxing, I thought it'd be fun to have it in 4K. So if you have a 4K screen, you're watching this on a 4K TV, a phone with 4K, your refrigerator with 4K, I don't know, your microwave with 4K, whatever you're watching this on, make sure you set the YouTube settings down below in 4K. Even if you're watching this later, it should be in a higher resolution. You should be able to see it as a sharper, more detailed image. So yeah, just let me know. Let me know. But hopefully it's working. So if anyone's experiencing like buffering or anything weird like that, just let me know. But there's nothing I can really do about it. But anyways, so we're doing a little test here. Yeah, we're gonna see some premium FFG air, says Edgar. Yes. All right, so let's crack this thing open. Actually, before we do that, let's see what's in it. Let's see what's in it. So we got Lord of the Rings, Journeys of Middle-earth, Spreading War expansion. War comes to Rohan and Gondor. There is trouble now on all our borders, and we are threatened by, but we desire only to be free and live as we have lived, keeping our own and serving no foreign lord, good or evil. We welcomed guests kindly in the better days, but in these times, the unbidden stranger finds us swift and hard. Come, who are you? Whom do you serve? Eomer, the Two Towers. All right. Bring the shadows of war to the Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, aka Lotor Jimmy, as we call it around these parts, for short. Within, you'll find new heroes, enemies, journey map tiles, terrain, and items to supplement all of your adventures. This expansion also unlocks a brand new 15 scenario campaign that challenges the heroes to battle ruthless mercenaries across the wide plains of the Rittermark, in the tangle of Fangorn Forest, and through the haunted ruins of Osgiliath. Can you protect the lands of Rohan and Gondor? Prepare your heroes and ride to battle in Spreading War. So we have the game contents down here in this little table. One rulebook. Ooh. 18 double-sided map tiles, 28 plastic figures, 65, sorry, item cards, 3 title cards, 30 hero skill cards, 72 roll skill cards, 6 terrain cards, 10 mount cards, 15 Bane cards, 7 hero cards, 5 fortified tokens, 14 assorted terrain tokens, 5 difficult ground tokens. Sounds like I'm reading the start of a Kickstarter campaign page for a board game. But anyways, so there's your recommended card sleeves if you're buying Gamegenic sleeves. So you need 1 pack of orange and 5 packs of yellow. And it's for 14 or older, so I probably shouldn't be playing this game if that's based on maturity level. And then we got 1 to 5, and it's 60 plus minutes to play. Oh, wow, there's a game app available where apps are sold. Woo! Right. Oh, right here. It requires Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth core set to play. Don't think you can play right out of the box. This is not a standalone expansion. This is just a straight-up expansion. Dan saying, I have seen it best to prime the mini matte white. Oh yeah, that's recommended in here and stuff. Yeah. There's instructions on here. Yeah, use matte white for the speed paints. Yeah. That's a recommendation, but you don't need to, based on what they told us. Shad says, I unfortunately have the No Time to Paint expansion for my board game collection. Understood. Copy. We're just catching up with the chat. Dan says, I will wait 30 seconds to laugh at any of your jokes. I don't joke here. These unboxings are super serious. No jokes. This is not a game, even though it says game on the box, but it's, you know, these unboxings are serious business. These are not a joke to me. Yes, how dare you? Steven already has his Spreading War all painted up. Yeah, if we weren't busy doing other things, I think we would be there already. But again, we're in no rush because we can't play this until we're finished The Haunting of Dale, which I assume is a couple months away. So Mel's got plenty of time to paint it and stuff. So that's why we're in no rush to even open it. But yeah, if you already played The Haunting of Dale or you have no interest in it and you're already on to Spreading War, then that makes total sense. All right, here we go. Let's go inside and find out what's going on here. I do love the art, though. They picked nice art for the front of the box, that's for sure. I'm assuming these are the heroes that are in the box. I'm assuming there's Bjorn, and then we got some kind of dwarf. And whoever this is this oh, what's his face? Boromir? Is that Boromir? Do we have Boromir in the game yet? I'm not sure. And then I don't know who that is. But I'm assuming that's like a Fantasy Flight Games character, like made for the game kind of thing. As is probably this character, maybe. I don't know. Are they from the books? You guys can let me know in the chat. Oh, here we go. We got a rule book. Holy bananas. Exciting stuff. There's all the goodies. So it says, using this expansion over here, before playing a game of Spreading War, update the Journeys in Middle-earth app and add the expansion to the collection in the app's collection manager. Then, before starting a new adventure, combine this expansion's components with those found in the base game by adding the mounts, banes, and fortified tokens to the supply, and adding all other cards to the respective decks. The terrain tokens can be set aside with the base game's terrain tokens until the scenario requires them. A new front. The Journey in Middle-earth app fills each adventure with content from all of its enabled expansions. So if you open up the app and tell it you have this expansion and you're playing like the first campaign, it may pull tiles, cards, you'll have choices from the heroes and different weapons and things. All those things get incorporated. Damage, fear, anything like that gets put in. It's kind of cool. Same way they did it for Mansion of Madness, 2nd edition. To experience the content including this expansion, be sure to enable it in the collection manager before embarking on a new campaign. The enemies, tiles, heroes, roles, and items in this expansion will add a variability to every Journey in Middle-earth campaign, challenging even veteran players in ways they have never known before. All right. Got 7 heroes, 21 enemies for miniatures. Okay. Oh, here's our new roles that are included in here. So these roles you can use with like any hero, right? So we have Lore Keeper, Guide, Shield Maiden, Provisioner, Soldier, and Trickster. So you could play like Gandalf the Lore Keeper, or like Legolas the Provisioner, you know? Like you can mix them up and use them with whoever. And each one will have like a hero that's recommended to play it with. But you can mix them up, change them in the middle of a campaign. You know, you can have, you know, Gimli being like a weaponsmith for a little bit, then change to a meddler, then change to like a trickster. You know, you just earn experience in each role, and then unlock cards or buy cards with the experience you earn for each role. You can spend it how you see fit for each campaign or each role. Sorry. Hello, Tara. Good morning. Oh, Locator saying Zenithal priming works great for these kind of paints as well. Maybe try a gray for the dark color and a white for the highlight. Oh, that may be cool, actually. Yeah, we'll try by the default for the first few or like a certain group. And then we could try one group of enemies, like with the Zenithal stuff, like you're recommending. But yeah, I'll talk with Mel about it. We'll figure it out. Like we'll see. We'll kind of look at what, you know, they're supposed to look like the colors and stuff. Because we're playing on video and stuff, I like the colors to like pop a little more. So I like to go for the lighter stuff, unless the enemy is like mainly dark or black is involved. Then I like to just prime it in a darker color, so it's, you know, less coats of paint, easier to do. But yeah. All right. But yeah, lighter colors I feel just make the colors brighter for video purposes. So that's why I prefer. But all right, we got expansion rules here. So we got Bane cards. They inflict negative effects that hinder the heroes. Oh, you can be captured. When a hero gains a captured Bane card, they gain a random captured Bane from the card from the supply. We got barricades. We remember those from Mansion of Madness 2nd Edition. I'm sure they work similar, maybe. Maybe, no. A barricade is a type of terrain that can be placed on the battle map. Oh, okay, so it's a battle map terrain, so you can kind of like barricade yourself. A hero or an enemy can attack a target that is in a space with a barricade. Figures cannot move into a space with a barricade unless they're instructed to ignore terrain. If performing an attack from multiple spaces away, a hero or enemy can attack through spaces with a barricade. Okay. Maybe it doesn't work the same at all. Oh, we got changing forms. We got some rules here for the hero Bjorn, changing between man and bear, it looks like. The Great Bear or Bjorn. Oh man, that's cool. Yes, that's so cool. Oh man. I can't wait to see that in action. Oh, look at this. We got chest terrain. A chest is a type of terrain that can be placed on a battle map. During the action phase of heroes in a space with a chest token, that hero can perform an interact action to interact with the chest. They perform a wisdom test. If they produce at least 2 success icons, the hero passes the test, and lore increases by 4, then the chest token is discarded. Okay, so it's a way to gain lore, which lore adds to your like party's experience to be able to upgrade items, trinkets, and stuff like that that you have. Upgrade your armor, your weapons, all that. The more lore you get faster, the better it is for you getting to higher level items and things. Component action. Yeah, we know all about that. Okay. Oh, difficult ground. We already saw that in a previous expansion. But remember, you don't have to have all the previous expansions. This could be your first expansion. So like in every Fantasy Flight Games product, and most expansions for board games, this one just relies on the core set only. So they have to repeat rules in here that might already be in another expansion that was already released, assuming you may or may not have it. Not all expansions stay in print. Totally depends on sales and stuff, whether they keep printing them and demand and that kind of thing. Looks like there's a fence terrain. So at least we'll know what these things are when I'm popping out the cardboard in a bit. Fortified. Let's see here. We got a fortified icon. Fortified is a property of some spaces on the map, and it makes those spaces more difficult to move through during combat. We got a fountain terrain for battle maps. We got mounts. This I'm excited for. This sounded kind of cool when they were talking about this before it released. Mounts are a new type of equipment. Mounts do not have a lore value and cannot be upgraded during the campaign. Heroes can gain mounts through app effects or abilities. Mounts are treated as equipped items for all game effects. The app tracks the party's collection of mounts in the inventory. During setup, after equipping trinkets, each hero may equip one mount from the inventory, which includes all mounts the party has gained during the campaign. The Snowbright does not appear in the inventory and cannot be equipped by any hero other than Freehild? The hero is allowed to equip multiple mounts if they gain one or more mounts during an adventure. Mounts may be chosen as equipped item to use for an attack. All rules for attacking with equipped items apply if a mount is chosen for an attack. After each adventure, equipped mounts are returned to the inventory. Okay, we're going to look at some of these mount cards, because they sound like they're kind of like equipment, but you can attack with them. I don't know. We got some pond terrain for the battle map. Again, we'll deal with this stuff when we see it in the playthrough. I won't remember all this stuff when we go to play it. I'll have to read this anyway. We got trench terrain. We got tier 4 equipment. So there's some equipment for going up to tier 4. Normally, I guess you could only go up to tier 3. So they've got it to go higher. We have a wild icon, represents any of the hero's 5 stats and appears on components and in the app. So there's like a wild, you can test like whatever you want, I guess. Yeah, you choose any of your 5 stats. That's new. That's cool. Then we got frequently asked questions that probably came up in playtesting to clarify some weird things. And again, man, this game, the quick references on the back of every single book that comes with the game, the Learn to Play, the rules reference, all the expansion books, all have a reference. And I love when like Kyle comes and plays, I hand one to Kyle, Mel has one, I have one. It's just so nice, they're all around and easy to grab. More rules references is never a bad thing. Like too many, there's no such thing as too many rules references. Of course, they add individual things, like they'll add the new stuff on them. But it's just nice when you just want to, you know, refresh yourself, sit down and play the game you haven't played in a while. It's good to just grab any of them and kind of like go through it to see, you know, what the flow of play is, what some of the keywords are. I do appreciate they keep doing that and not throwing advertisements on the back, which do not help me when I'm playing the game later, as I learned. All right. Appreciate that. He says, make them Nazgul magenta to make them pop. Oh, yeah, why paint it? Yeah, I don't need to prime it in white. I just need to paint them all in magenta. Oh, good idea. Hello, Sean. Welcome. Lime green Bjorn. It is then. Yes. Kate. Yes. No. I will not do that. Oh, how does the box smell? I was gonna smell the cardboard right here. Actually, just as I pop that. Just as I pop the plastic, I could smell it. Oh, it's the usual. It smells exactly like if you ever unbox any Mansion Madness 2nd Edition stuff. Yep, it's made in the same factory, same stuff as most of the FFG board games. Yep, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Nice quality stuff. Very dark looking tile. I like how they got like even the art, like they put a little bit of art on the part you throw away. That's quality. So we got a whole bunch of tiles here. Looks like 6 tiles worth of goodies. So of course we got some terrain, you know, lots of new terrain spaces to go on to obviously build up the new campaign or add to your existing campaigns. Got some difficult ground here. We got some darkness. Okay, more indoor caverns. You know, in the forest, we got the forest going on here. I don't want to go in there. Wherever that is, I don't want to go there. Okay. What we got on this one? I love the art on these. Like, it's small, but like I love how you can look at closely and see like so many details. Like, what the heck is going on down there? You got some water here. I like that. That's cool. More caves. Whoops, upside down. Just like little details. Whoops, upside down. I guess it doesn't matter really, but all of these indoor ones, those look cool. Those look cool. Here's some chests. Get that loot. Oh, it's barricades. Barricades on one side, chests on the other. Those chests don't look very, very inspired, but I guess they're fine. They're fine. They fit. I guess I don't need to punch out every single token here, but just show you a couple. Okay. Let's go look at this one. This one's cool. Yeah, I like these like little places, this little art on here. It's so cool. Love the detail, how it's just not like completely repeating the same design over and over again. There's actually like these are my favorite. Like, look at all the little details in there. Look at all the details. That's cool stuff. I like that a lot. Hey, Steph. Mellow-vision is great. Yes. Good stuff. Good stuff. Favorite part of unboxing is smelling all the fresh inks and plastics and paper printing and sealed freshness, you know? Oh, man. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, upside down. I show a couple at the same time. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, what's this place? Look at those little ruins. Oh, here's the trenches and fences or whatever. Trench and a fence. Oh, got a little village. Little village there. Little boats there. That's cool. What is this? What is that? Hmm. I think I found Excalibur. Right there. This little spear. On the back, indoor. Oh, what's that there? That's cool. Yeah, so it's little details, man. You play so many games of like modular terrain. It's just like, you know, all the outdoor terrains, like all the exact same, like the same green pattern or whatever. But this game, they change it up. It's cool. Just like, yeah, there's always like subtle differences, little cool points of interest, even though they're really just background. Sometimes the app incorporates them and like describes that place and kind of fits into the story, but Keith says, expecting to see PSAs running soon about sniffing game parts. Well, I've been sniffing like I've described before, you know, since the early 80s, sniffing like or mid 80s, I guess, the you know, Nintendo Entertainment System manuals for games, the boxes, the cartridges, onto Super Nintendo, and then eventually like board games, magazines, those kind of things. Anything print with like, you know, thick ink, like colorful professional ink on it. I don't know, that smell of like opening a brand new Nintendo game, you know, back in the day before you just downloaded everything. It was awesome to like smell that. I just love that smell. You know, that Christmas, you know, you're cracking open your new Super Nintendo or your video game boxes, and oh man, I just love that smell and the smell in the manuals. So it hasn't affected my brain at all. I'm perfectly fine, right? I'm sure I have all my brain cells. We're fine. We are fine. One second. To falling off the screen here, kind of. No, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm all right. All right. Oh, I like this one. I like this one. What does it go this way? There's like a little stream going indoors. Or this one. Yeah, that's cool. I'll punch you the rest of that stuff later. Oh, we're into the bigger tiles, the 400s. We got more 400s, 404. Right now we only have 400, 401, 402, and 403 in the game. So now they've added 404. Oh no, 403 is here. So there must be only 3 400 tiles we have so far, maybe. Little bridge. Yeah, the 400s, obviously, they keep getting bigger as the numbers go up. That's cool. All right. Oh yeah, here's this fountain and pond or whatever. Pond and fountain. For the battle map. Oh. Oh, we got a 500? Is this the first 500 in the game? I feel like it is since it's 500. Duh. Yeah, I don't think we've ever had 500s before. That would make sense, right? That would make sense, yeah. Our first 500. And this is going to be the last big box expansion. What the heck, man? How are they going to put other 500s in future expansions? Ah, that looks cool. Yeah, looks cool. All right, well, this is quite a few tiles. That's quite a few variations of tiles. How many was it? 18. 18 double-sided map tiles for use in your collection. To, again, every campaign, if you have this entered in the app that you own this expansion, it will pull some of these into other campaigns and change things up. At least that's my understanding. At least that's what it does in Mansion to Madness. That's what they say it should be doing in this. I just have never gone back and played any of the other campaigns after getting new expansions. But in theory, if you're buying into this game right now and you bought all that existed, you put it all in the app as you have it, you'll be seeing kind of like a slightly changed up, you know, different variability in your campaign playthrough than I played in mine when the game originally came out and stuff, even if you're playing through the first campaign. All right, it's time for some minis and bags. And these are heavy minis. Chonky minis. These are the big ones. I'm sure all the little ones are hidden somewhere in here. Yep. So they don't actually sell you tons of air. They actually hide things in the air with some of these expansions. Lots of minis. Then we'll go through the cards and stuff after. The heroes, we'll look at those in a sec. Okay, let's go. I guess we'll go kind of backwards. We'll do the big ones first. Yeah, that is pretty solid actually. I mean, you can tell it's glued together. It's separate parts, but yeah, that's a chonky mini. I don't know if we can get that to focus. Yeah, not bad detail on there too. A little texture on the wood. I don't know if we can get it to focus on that, but oh yeah, I know what's going on here. I remember seeing this in a Fantasy Flight stream or a picture or something. Yeah, we can put the bad guys on here. Now we're getting super serious. Yeah, you can actually like put a mini in here and they can like ride on this thing, you know? Get over the walls. So you get 2 of these guys. That's cool. And the ladder is like, you can tell the ladder's hanging off. One of them got a little warped, but you can use like hot or warm water, whatever. And I could try to like shape them back, but I think it looks kind of cool that they're kind of different. If they're like rope ladders, you know? I don't know if they're supposed to be rope ladders, but that's what they look like. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's neat. All right, another big miniature. We got the Easterlings or whatever, elephants, whatever you call these things. I don't know what they're called, but I think it's like the Easterlings, right? That are, or the that what they're called? Like the enemy that like uses the elephants? Somebody in the chat will know and correct me. Yeah, that's cool. Is there another one? There's only one? Only one elephant. That's supposed to be like that? I guess that's still cool. I mean, I don't want to see this thing in the game. So I guess I'm kind of glad there's only one. But that's pretty cool. Oliphants? Oliphants? That's what they're called? Thank you, Keith. And we got some, you know, is it the Nazgul, right? Or the Nazgul. What do you call the things that ride these guys? Like the Black Riders, you know? Like I always get confused. Like, are these the Nazgul, or these things have, what are the name of these things versus the guys that ride them? I forget. Oliphants. You get 3 of these. The Haradrim. See, I thought it was the word that started with H. I was going to say something like that, but I couldn't remember what it's called. I remember there's like a whole expansion in Lord of the Rings LCG that's based around that. And in War of the Ring, right? Aren't they like the faction coming from the right? I forget what they call them. They call them like the Easterlings or something in that game, I think. They're used by Haradrim people. Same as the actor Timothy the Oliphant. Yes. Awesome. I wish I knew, how would I know what these enemies are called? I don't unless I have the app going, right? Because they don't list the enemies off in the book in these games that are app driven. There's no like cards to go with the enemies or anything. So I'm just going like off the top of my head here. I don't remember. But when we play it, they'll tell you go grab this enemy or whatever it's called from it. So I don't know the names of everything. I should probably stop trying to guess them, but looks like these little spearmen or whatever. You get 4 of those. Then you get 6 of whatever these guys are. Again, you'll see these on Mel's painting stream when she's painting them. Hopefully some of these. If not, you'll see them in our playthrough. Maybe I'll do some of them in some YouTube shorts like we've been doing for Descent Legends of the Dark, posting the minis on there. And then that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemy types or whatever. Oh, no, there's more right here. Sorry. We got some kind of warg riders or something. Got some warg riders. That's cool. That's cool. And you get 3 of those. 3 of these warg rider guys. I guarantee they will be moving fast across the map trying to get you. All right. We're going to figure out the heroes here. The Black Riders are the Nazgul. Okay. So what are these called then? What are these? What do you call these? And then what do you call like the knights that ride these guys? Like what are the differences? All right, so I'm just looking at the cards here because I want to see the characters. So we got Bjorn, they got this picture, but then they're like, to remind you there's a little bear in the corner. Little story on the back. His suggested role is guide, and he starts with a battle axe and travel garb. But again, that's just suggested. You can do whatever you want. You can start him with whatever, you know, clothing, armor, equipment, whatever, and whatever role you want. Oh, here we go. There's the Great Bear. I see. So you do have 2 different cards. That's cool. That's cool. You see his stats are different ability in the box here. Same fear and damage stats, same limit on fate or inspiration or whatever. And then we have, where is he? That's so cool. This guy. That's so cool. That's cool that you can change. Yeah. Kyle, if you're watching, you can have dibs on this guy in our playthrough if you want. I think that'd be really neat. If you want to play this thing, but this seems like a cool little addition to the game, switching forms. Okay, what do we got here? We got Calaminth Took. I believe that's the right miniature. I see the little club in the background there in the art. So small. I'm like having trouble trying to hold it. Little hobbit. She's a hobbit. There's the stats and the ability. There's her background story. Suggested start, provisioner role, mace and cloak. You can pause that and read that if you guys want, if you're watching later. I guess right now you can pause, but just you'll get out of sync of the video or the live stream. Yeah, it is Boromir. It is Boromir. There we go. I remember that art from the card game. So Boromir is a soldier, starts with a sword, a horn, and plate armor is his recommended start. Suggested start, I should say. And Boromir, there he is, blowing the horn of Gondor. Ooh, lots of detail on his armor and stuff. That's cool. For being such a small miniature, these ones, compared to some other games and some other miniatures in this game. Looks like we have to do a little hot water on the sword to straighten his sword there. Sword's a little limp. It happens. Happens to the best of us, you know. There we go. All right, what do we got? Looks like we have an elf female here. I don't know if she's actually from the official like canon lore or anything from the books. She might just be one that was created by Fantasy Flight Games to use in the games. Obviously approved and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how to say the name. Renarian. Okay, Velko says Nazgul ride fell beasts are the dragon-like thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the Nazgul were like the knights, like, you know, the black riders, the black knights, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay. Kate didn't remember the name of the mounts either. Yeah, I don't feel like they're described very often, like in the games and stuff. They just kind of like, you know, here's the Nazgul, and they hop on them and fly around, and it's like, I don't know if that was the name of both of them, but I didn't think so. That she is, sorry. This is the character I'll probably want to play. If we're only choosing from the characters in this game. I feel like I want to go back to playing an elf archer, but assuming she gets some kind of ranged weapon. He starts with a trickster roll, a short bow, and padded armor recommended. Only a short bow. And we'll check out these items and stuff when we get into the cards. All right, we got Dwalin, another dwarf. Suggested start, lore keeper, spear, and cloak. He's ready for business, man. He's ready to stabby stab. Yeah, so small. Like, I love how small they are. Like, you've got bear, and you have little hobbit. And then you have human, bear, hobbit. And then you have elephant, or sorry, Oliphant. Oh man. Okay. And so we have 7 heroes. That's pretty cool. That's quite a bit. Freya Hild, she's the one that starts with a mount, I guess. which it's kind of reminding you there, probably to grab that one, maybe. Snowbright, maybe this is Snowbright on the card. He's a human. Shield Maiden roll, spear, shield, and padded armor also, okay. That's cool. That's a cool stance. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Boom. Lots of baggies. All right. Now the cards. This is the good stuff. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. The bag was sealed up nice. Like that. Look, that's a lot of cards. Holy. All right. How are we going to do this? Rending Claws. I wonder who uses these. Hope's Beacon. These are like weapons. We got Worm's Tooth. Chorus of Light. Oh, this, yeah, see, look, this is tier 4 of like the harp or whatever. Mel's playing like the musician right now that uses this stuff. And yeah, if I inputted that we had this game, she'd be able to use any stat to attack with this, to 1 success, stun, and smite. So yeah, now it can go up to tier 4. So that's our first tier 4 one. Oh, that's what Worm's Touch was. Or Worm's Tooth, sorry, Worm's Tooth. This was a tier 4 of whatever the daggers are, right? So it just gives like an additional level to some of the stuff. Here's the Dwarven Axe, Hunger, the tier 4 of that. Got range on it. There's a new tier 1 Horn, or I don't know if Horn is completely new to the game. I've seen this art in so many different Fantasy Flight, Lord of the Rings themed games that I get confused if it's new to the game or not, because it's the same art. Oh yeah, it's new for sure. Here's all the different tiers of the horn. Some different options you can get at different tiers. And like as you get experience, as you get lore points, your party you can upgrade. So for those that don't know how the game works, come and watch our playthroughs, I guess. But so for example, you start with the horn, and then when you get up to 60 lore in your party, you'll be able to like choose this tier 2 version, which will have a better ability on it. Another tier 4, Wicked Smile. And then we got a mace, and all the upgrade path to the mace going all the way up to tier 4. Deft Mace, Soldier's Pride, Hobbler, World Root. We have Shield. Okay, 4 tiers to the shield. A Bossed Shield. Bowblind. And Hrinaben? Hrinaben? I don't know how to say that. Boom. Daniel says, hey Rob, having fun without Kyle? No, I miss him. Yeah, hopefully he'll be here next week and we can continue the campaign. Oh, they made a level 4 for all items, says Railton. Okay. Oh, 6 heroes. Sorry. Yeah, not 7. It's 6. Yeah, this is the same. Sorry. This is the same hero. Yeah, I'm being confused. So yeah. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 heroes. That's what I thought I read, and then I was confused when I saw the 7 cards spread out. Yeah. Obviously, smelling the cards and stuff, that does really burn my brain cells. There's a level 4 for the slingshot. Oh. Yeah, so the sword, we've seen the sword before, but here's the one that comes in this box. So you get more swords, but we got level 2, Northern Blade, Moon Collar, and now Will Carver, tier 4. Cloud Chaser, so this tier 4. I don't know what that one's for, or who equips that one, or got the axe here, Sorrow Sworn, tier 4. Cool. Oops, put this in here. I don't know how I'm sorting these really, but I've played with the longbow or whatever it is, or the bow. Here's Bolt Thrower, tier 4 of the bow. Oh, we saw this one, the hammer. I feel like Kyle's playing with this one right now in our playthrough for his dwarf, his weaponsmith or whatever dwarf. Tier 4 of that. Oh, here's the short bow. This is what I was curious about. So the short bow is ranged, so that's all good. Okay. There's tier 2. Tier 3. Okay. Oh, another tier 3. So you have a choice at tier 3 to choose between 2 different ones. And then there's tier 4, Needle Threader. Oh, look at all the 3 stats. That's cool. 12 hits and lethal for 3 successes on this one. Wow. Got the spear. Whoa. Okay, lots of options for the spear. There's the spear. So a couple spears, so I guess multiple people can start with level 1 spears. Go to long spear at level 2, or a Rohirric spear at level 2. Bangweir at 3, or Bough of the White Tree at 3, or Dancing Steel at 3, and then Eisenhild at 4. There you go. Here's the tier 4 of the staff, World's Burden. A hoary coat. So some armor here for the bear, I guess. I was gonna put this here. Whoops. Oh yeah, there's tier 4s for all the armors too. Okay. The cloak. And here's padded armor, and it's set. When you test to negate damage or fear, you may spend 1 inspiration to convert 2 fate to successes. For padded armor, that's level 1. Another padded armor, so 2 can have padded armor. And then Guard's Tabard is one of the level 2s. Vanguard armor, the other level 2. Glory Mantle level 3. Ever Vigilant level 3. Heart Swell level 3. And Star of the West tier 4. Only one character can get to tier 4 of the armor, it appears, if you both start with the same, which is neat. There's another new one that I haven't seen before, plate armor. Tier 1 of plate armor. Oh, one of these, because they're heavy, you decrease your agility. Not a fan of any of those. Tier 2 of it. Tier 3 of it. Tier 3 option, Iron Soul. And tier 4, the King's Crest. Yeah, the mounts are one of the things I'm thinking about the most that I want to see him play. I'm kind of excited to get to them. So here's the level 4 for the, I guess the chainmail, right? Is the level 1 of that? Endless Road tier 4 for, I forget which one that one is, a tier 4 of. I forget what they call the tier 1 of that, but. Oh, some trinkets. Oh, bunch of trinkets. Okay. Got provisions. At the end of your turn, you may deplete this item to scout 1 for each creature card in your play area. Reveal 1 additional card. Oh, so like if you have a mount, you have like more provisions they can carry them. Thematically, that's cool. Oh, tier 2, so provisions can improve. So how is this one improving? For each creature card in your play, reveal 1 additional card. For each creature card in your play, reveal 1 additional card. Oh, this one, one is at the end of your turn. The other one is during your turn. Okay, okay. Okay, end of your turn or during your turn. Okay, then we have the tier 3 of it. Horse Lord Supply. During your turn, you may deplete this item to scout 1 for each creature card in your play, reveal 1 additional item. This just lets you use it a 3rd time, so there's a 3rd trinket usage. If this levels up. Then we have the Water Skin. When you're traveling, you may deplete this item to move 1 additional space. Just 1 use on it. And we have the tier 2 version of it, 2 uses. And this one's a little different. For tier 3, increase your fear limit by 1. And it also gives you 3 uses. You gotta get to 73 lore to unlock this one though. That's cool. All right, it's mount time. Some creature cards here. We got a pack mule. You can have up to 2 additional prepared skills. Whoa! So normally you can only prepare 4 skills in play. They're like kind of like having abilities ready to pop and some passive abilities in play. But you can have up to 6 with this thing. Once per round, when you would discard a prepared skill, you may place that skill on top of your deck instead. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Friendly Pony. Once per round, after you perform a spirit test, a hero in your space may gain 1 inspiration or flip 1 fear face down. If you're a hobbit, that hero may do both. Oh, the horse for the hobbits. That's funny. A little hobbit bonus. Ooh, we got War Charger. Look at this one. This one you can fight with. So if you have another weapon with wisdom or might, you could use this together, and then if you have an extra success, you can spend it on this just to get 2 more hits. And once per round when you attack, you may add Sunder and Stun to that attack. You could stun an enemy once per round in one of your attacks. And Sunder gets through... What is Sunder? I think it permanently reduces their armor by 1. Is that one? I forget. If only I had a rules reference to remind me. Where is Sunder? Sunder, this attack permanently reduces the enemy's armor by 1. Boom, I got it. I remembered. Look at that. Can't remember the names of anything for some reason, but I could remember that. We got Traveler's Horse. Heroes up to 2 spaces away are nearby you. Oh, that's cool. You are nearby heroes up to 2 spaces away. And for an action, you can interact with a token in an adjacent space. You may only use this action once per round. So if you have enemies in an adjacent space, you don't need to go in there and deal with the enemies or take, evoke them or whatever, provoke them. You can just interact with the token from a space away. That's very powerful. Very powerful to get some things done. And you can get them done as you like ride by too, right? You can like interact with the token, keep moving on. You don't have to like enter the space, waste extra movement. Yeah, that's pretty huge. Swift Steed. Once per round, when you move out of a space, you may ignore enemies in that space. At the end of your turn, if you move 3 or more spaces this turn, gain 1 inspiration. Fast horsey. Fast horsey. Aragorn likes that one. Are there Warg Riders whole, says Velco? I think so. I saw you talking about that before. Oh, one of them being broken, I think. I think this one's okay. Okay, that's one. Then we got this War Grider here. Looks good. He's got the... I see where the weapon can break, though. That's a very weak point right there. Again, they're just thrown in bags, right? So it's like... Yeah, look okay. It's just, yeah, I see what you're saying, like this. Like, I could easily just twist that and snap it right off. Yeah, that's a very weak point in there. Yeah, you can see the plastic's like turning a little bit of white in there because it's been flexed, like, and weakened. Yeah, that's sucky. Too bad. And of course, Asmodee's like return policy, you can't just email them anymore and say, hey, Fantasy Flight, send me one of those minis. You'll have to return your game to where you bought it and get another copy. So crazy. So wasteful. All right. Oh, okay. So we have another mount. Is the bear. One success. So this one can attack. One success for 3 hits. 2 success for 3 hits and cleave. Cleave is the, you can hit everyone in a group of enemies. Once per round, when you are counterattacked, you may reduce that damage and fear by 1. Grumblebum. What the heck? Yeah, this creature, once per round after you move during your turn, you may apply 2 hits to an enemy, or to each enemy in your space. And this one can be used in an attack to become determined. It's a meadow heart. It's like a deer, some kind of like stag or deer or whatever. It's got like antlers, I don't know. That's cool. Oh, man, we're riding birds. Got the eagles. Once per round, when you attack... That's so cool. Oh, man. I like that one. We got Quick Beam. Whoa, you can ride an Ent? What is going on here? This I did not know. I thought there's only horses were here. Again, I didn't like look at every single thing before I got it. I just knew there was mounts. Like they just described them on an FFG stream and on an article. I didn't look in detail. This one's got the wild icon. You cannot sprint. Ooh. Because they're slow, right? But you can do any test for attacks. So this compare with any weapon. You get 1 success, 2 hits, 2 success, 3 hits with stun. Once per round, when you attack, you may add cleave to that attack. Oh, man. Yeah, these mounts are like the highlight. Oh, it's an elk? A heart is an elk? Okay, thank you. Thank you, James. I wasn't sure. That makes more sense. Then here's Snowbright. Okay, so Snowbright's the one that goes with Freya-Hild? That's how you say it? And then there's a little art matching in the bottom right corner there. Once per round, after you or a nearby hero suffers damage or fear, that hero may gain 1 inspiration. So she starts with this one. She's the only one that like gets one right from the start, I guess, or has to pair with that one. What are these? Oh, these are the burden cards or whatever they were. What are these called again? Bane cards. Wait, what? Oh, I haven't even got to this stuff. Yeah. Holy. I've only gone through like 20% of the card deck that comes with this game, I think. Maybe not 20, maybe like 40. Or 36, I think. Yeah. All right. So we got, of course, I think you can play up to 5 players, right? In this game. So they give you like 5 copies. Yeah, you can play up to 5 players. So they give you 5 copies of all the Banes. So these are like bad versions of like, you know, determined and hidden and all that stuff, your boons or whatever. You cannot spend inspiration. You can still discard inspiration. During the action phase, a nearby hero may discard 2 inspiration to discard this Bane. This is the balance. These are the things that are going to balance all the good stuff you get. They got to put some stuff in here that holds you back, right? Kind of balance it out. We got 5 copies of the Bane. Captured. Remove your figure from the map. You are unaffected by other game effects and cannot perform other actions. When you would discard this Bane, flip it instead. You attempt to escape, flip this Bane. And they're all different, I'm assuming. Yep, they're all different tests. So you never know what you're going to try to do. This they already have in Mansion of Madness 2nd edition. I remember it was like, I forget what it's called in that game, but they teleport you off the map and then you got to try to find your way back in. It's like Lost in Time and Space or something. It reminds me of that. It seems like it's like the same mechanic. I'm pretty sure it was that was what it was in that game. Terrified. When you attack, remove one success produced during that test. At the end of your turn, you may discard a prepared skill to discard this Bane. Terrified. Okay, here's the information cards that you have for the new terrain to add to your deck, so you know how barricades work, and chests, and trenches, and fences, and ponds, and fountains, and mending. No, that's not a thing. So these are just cards to help you at the table, so you don't have to keep clicking in the app if you don't want. You can just kind of read these as like reference cards for each of the terrain in a battle map situation. That's cool. Oh, I see this provisioner stuff. Okay, hold on. Provisioner. I don't think I'm going to go through all these one by one. I'll save them to play with some of them, so we'll see them as we go through them in the live stream playthroughs of Spreading War later. But I just want to separate them out. We can kind of look at some of the starting cards of each role. I just don't want to go through all like the level 4 and above. We'll just save that for later. Soldier. Trickster. Oh, so we'll go through the character ones. So I don't know how to say her name, but Rhaenyra 1, Child of Luin. Tactic: when an enemy moves into your space, you may discard this skill to apply 4 hits and stun to that enemy. And you can pop this to hide. Okay, here's our second one. Mischief, Shadow, traded. During your turn, you may choose a hero to select 3 cards from their discard pile. They prepare 1 revealed card and place the rest on the top of their deck, then discard this skill. I like that. And we got Tireless. At the end of your turn, you may discard this skill to perform an action that you have not performed this turn. Oh, extra actions. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I like where this character's going. Then she has 2 of her level 4 card here, whatever. Or 4 and 5, sorry, I guess 4 and 5. Not level, they're like they're numbered. Sorry, numbered cards. Greyhaven Craft. When you prepare this skill, discard all Banes and gain a boon of your choice. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Wow. And that's her 5 cards. Okay. So that is the elf. Okay. And next we have the dwarf, Dwalin. Let's go through Dwalin's 5 personal cards here. Kinship. Before a nearby hero test, you may discard this skill for that hero to reveal 2 additional cards. If they are dwarf, you may scout 1. So kind of feeding into like if you build a dwarf themed party. That'd be neat. There's enough in the game now. You definitely can do that. We got 2 copies of Ancestral Grudge. When you attack an orc or goblin, you may add 2 hits and lethal. Also can be popped for strike 3. Okay. 2 successes there. Then we got Misty Mountains Cold. When you scout, you may reveal 1 fewer card to gain 1 inspiration. And we have Stirring Performance Song. Before you test Spirit or Wit, you may discard this skill to reveal 1 additional card and gain 1 inspiration. And then it has a rest 2 on it. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. And then this is for Freyahild. Freyahild, the horse rider. So she has, her first card is Fateless, innate. When you test, you may discard the skill to convert all fates to successes. That's really powerful. Like this one's better than like a test of will, right? Or whatever it's called in this game. I always forget. On test of will. The one that changed, it's like if you got no successes, you change all fates to successes. This one doesn't have that requirement. So you can just change that. So if you already have some successes, you can still pop this one. We have Faithful Companion. When a nearby hero tests, you may spend an inspiration to convert a fate to a success. Got guard 2. Gift of Men. During your turn, you may discard this skill to discard 1 fear. Not too bad. And then 2 copies of Cavalry Combat. After you test to negate, you may discard this skill to scout 2 and move 1 space without provoking attacks. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Time of Need. Thank you, Mel. Time of Need is what I was thinking, not Test of Will. Same art as Test of Will from the card game, but that is going to confuse me forever. Time of Need. And then this is Calaminth Tukes, 5 cards. The Hobbit. This one. Simple Desires. At the start of your turn, you may discard this skill to scout 2, then gain 1 inspiration for each aid, food, or song card in your play area. Then we have the Tukish part. Before you test, you may discard the skill to test willpower, or will, or wit. Wit. It's wit in this game. Yeah, it's wit. Instead, and gain 1 inspiration. And you can hide with this one. We have Hobbit Sense. At the end of your turn, if there are no nearby enemies, you may scout 1. She wants to stay out of trouble. That's cool. Drinking Ditty. During your turn, you may discard the skill for you and each nearby hero to discard 1 fear or 1 damage or 1 fear. Strike 1. And then number 5 card is Fierce Resolve. Innate Valor. When you attack, if you convert 1 or more fates to successes, add 1 success to the test. And there's a rest 2 on there. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, here's Boromir's cards. Let's see what Boromir's up to. So Boromir's level 1 is Innate Valor. When you attack, if you convert 1 or more fate to successes, add 1 success to the test. Wait, we just saw this card. Hey, quit recycling here. So Boromir's number 1 is the same as Calaminth Tukes number 5. That's cool. All right. Then we got Born to Lead. During your turn, if there is a nearby enemy, you may discard this skill for you and each nearby hero to become emboldened, and a strike 2. Overpower. Overpower. Before you test, you may discard the skill to test Might instead and gain 1 inspiration. So you can change any test to Might. And yeah, it looks like Might's his best stat of 4. That makes sense. Then we have Blood of Gondor. When you test, you may discard this skill to reveal 3 additional cards. It's got guard 2. Very powerful. Gift of Men. During your turn, you may discard the skill to discard 1 fear. And we already read that one. And this is Bjorn. No, Bjorn's cards, 1 through 5. The day will come after a nearby enemy is defeated. You may discard this skill to become determined or scout 2. Beast Tongue. After you interact with a search or threat token, you may discard the skill to perform 1 additional action, sprint 1. Friend of Bees. Before you strike, add stun to the attack, and it's got a strike 1 if you want to pop it. The first Bjorning. Change to the Great Bear. When this card is discarded, change to Bjorn. When you change, replace your hero card, figure, and equipped items. Whoa, okay. Really should have read how all that worked, because that's weird. Oh, he's got 2 copies. 2 copies of that. I was going to say, like, that's kind of got to rely on that card to do that. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so here's the Provisioner roll. First 3 cards. Just to get an idea of what the Provisioner is starting out with. After you or a nearby hero explores the tile, you may discard this skill to scout 1 or prepare a food skill from your discard pile. Gotta hide. So you start with this one in play because it has the 3 little stars on it. If you're playing this roll. We got Waybread, food. At the end of your turn, you may discard the skill to flip 2 damage or fear face down and scout 2. It's got rest 2. And then we have, oh, more Waybread. Okay. So you get 1 foraging and 2 Waybread. if you're the provisioner. And if you're the guide, you of course have a Greyhound. When you scout, you may spend 1 inspiration to prepare 1 additional card, and this can strike 2. Start with this one in play. And then we got 2 way forwards. When you scout, reveal 1 additional card. After you scout, you may discard the skill for a nearby hero to move 1 space. That's cool. And then we have the Lore Keeper. Preparation. Before a hero in your space tests, you may discard this skill for that hero to gain 1 inspiration. After a hero in your space tests, you may discard this skill for that hero to scout 2. Childhood Tales. After you move into a space with another hero, you may discard this skill. If you do, each hero in your space chooses to either become determined or discard 1. And 2 of those. Okay. Interesting. And then we got Shield Maiden. With, looks like, what's that? Swift Strike or Quick Strike art from the card game. As 1. When a nearby hero tests, you may discard the skill to convert all fates to successes. Strike 2. And we got Call to Glory. After you test, you may discard the skill to gain 1 inspiration equal to your test result. Sprint 1 is on them, and there's 2 of them. Okay, that was Shield Maiden. And here's the Soldier, which I think was recommended for Boromir. Yep. Boromir's the Soldier role. So the Soldier role starts with Comrade in Arms in play. When you or a nearby hero would discard a prepared tactics skill, you may discard this skill instead. Okay, so you get to keep tactics in play, which here's one right here, and you probably have 2 of them, yep. Love of War and Valor. After you strike with the skill, you and each hero with a prepared tactics skill may scout 2. So then you could discard this instead, keep this in play, and use it again, which is cool. Yeah, that's neat. And this is for the Trickster. The Trickster starts with Merry Chase in play. Before you sprint with this skill, you may move an enemy group 1 space. Oh, wow. Sprint 1. And then we have 2 copies of Chicanery. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. When you interact and test, you may add 1 success for each unique trait among your prepared skills and gain a boon of your choice. If you do, discard this skill. That's powerful. You kind of want to have different traits. So you start with a shadow and this becomes a tactic. So at least you have 2 different traits, you know? That's cool. Plus I guess the traits on all your items, right? Oh, prepared skills. Sorry, prepared skills only. Not cards in play. What are these? Titles. The 3 title cards that are being added to the giant deck of titles in the game that you may or may not see in a playthrough of a campaign. We got Friend of Gondor to go along with Friend of Elves, Friend of Dwarves, Friend of Rohan, Friend of whatever else is in the game. Friend of Eagles, Friend of Gandalf, Friend of Ents. I don't know. There's so many Friend of cards. You have the human trait. During your turn, you may remove this skill from the adventure for you and another human to each discard 1 Bane. Oh, here's Friend of Rohan. I was only joking. I was exaggerating, but there is Friend of Rohan. You have the human trait. During your turn, you may remove this skill from the adventure for you and another human to each move 1 space. Rohan or the horse guys, that makes sense. And then we got Beast Singer. It's a song. At the end of your turn, you may remove this skill from the adventure for each hero to gain 1 inspiration for each creature in your play area. I like this. I like the themes they're going with here. This is cool. I like this whole mounts and stuff. This is neat. And I like the spread of all the different factions of heroes in here. Like, you know, they give you a hobbit, an elf, a dwarf, a human, another human, and then this, you know, Bjorn. A changeling, you know? That's cool. Man, look at all this stuff. Like, there's a lot. And it's not even all on the screen here, man. There's so much stuff. So much stuff in this game, in this expansion. I wonder it's $80 US. Holy. Plus the tiles. Plus the tiles. 18 tiles it was. Plus tokens I haven't even punched out. All the tokens on these sheets. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Plus the rule book. Plus the box of air and all the bags. Just kidding. Just kidding. Here's the Middle Earth spreading war. Unboxed. Any questions? James says it's chicanery. Chicanery? Chicanery? Means up to no good. I'm surprised I don't know that word, because it sounds like it applies to most of my days. Yeah. Lost in time and space sounded correct, says Stefan. Or Litas. Yeah, yeah. I have the Litas trait. Oh. But yeah, I'm excited to play this. I'm also excited for Mel to get painting it. And again, if anyone who tuned in late, the folks over at Army Painter sent us a starter set for their new speed paints for basing, shadowing, and highlighting in one. It's supposed to make painting miniatures quicker to get them table ready. Yeah, so it comes with these colors. So Mel's going to try this out on these minis, these different minis in this game on a live stream, and we'll paint it long before hopefully we end up playing it. So we'll have all this stuff painted before we get on to the Spreading War campaign, which we'll play later on the channel. If you're interested in any of our playthroughs of this game, we played through all the previous campaigns. We're currently playing live through The Haunting of Dale weekly on Tuesdays. Most Tuesdays, not this Tuesday, but probably next Tuesday we'll continue it. Check the video description of this video. You can find playlist links to that stuff. If you want to catch the paint streams, subscribe, turn on notifications. We don't have those scheduled yet, but that way you'll find your way back to the channel, and you'll see that stuff in your subscription feed when it happens, when Mel's painting. So yeah, she's looking forward to that. So I'll prime these up with some matte white paint is the plan. At least most of them. I'll look at what colors they need to be, but yeah, so we'll paint them up. Whoa, there's a free brush included. Holy. Yeah, thanks to the folks over at Army Painter for hooking us up with this early. So we don't have to wait till it comes out. We appreciate it. We can try it out. Yeah, hopefully that's the colors should be able to make it work. In worst case, you know, we have like 100 Army Painter different color paints to you know, supplement it, highlights or any of that kind of stuff we need to do if these don't cover that. But yeah, there you go. That's the plan. That's the plan. If anyone's interested in Lord of the Rings Living Card Game, we are starting the revised core set campaign tomorrow night. I have scheduled that stream. You can find that at youtube.com/Rob's Gaming Table and schedule or set a reminder by clicking on it so you can join us tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, January 26, 2022. We'll be starting that. We're also continuing it this weekend. And then, yeah, of course, more Lord of the Rings, Dreams of Middle-earth. Like I said, check the playlists, links down in the video description for more of this. Let's see. You guys have any questions? Sean says, Rob, the 4K looks great. Did it okay? I just know the autofocus on the camera was kind of weird, but I do have it cranked to like 11. So it's like autofocuses, like it should be autofocusing, but like kind of too fast sometimes. But that's the only thing. But yeah. Yeah. First stream, first public stream in 4K. So hopefully it looks okay. But again, I'm not planning on streaming in 4K normally for playthroughs and stuff because there's way too long of a delay between chat before I see things. Obviously, 4K, larger data being sent to YouTube to be processed, sent around the world to your screens, takes a lot longer to shoot that stuff around the world. So there's obviously a delay from when you guys are hearing me talking and typing in the chat. I see it like 30 seconds later. So that's unacceptable for me. I can't normally do that. During an unboxing, it's fine. You know, I can see your guys' chats a little later while I go through stuff, kind of look up at the chat sporadically. But during a playthrough, I love when something happens, somebody can bring it up. We can look up rules, have discussions like live, basically, with like 10 seconds of delay in like a 1440p stream. So we'll continue to stream at 1440p in most streams. Going forward, I just want to try this for unboxings just to see how it is. I'll watch it back later to see how YouTube compresses it, and if it does have a noticeable difference, then I'll continue to do it for unboxings at least. But yeah, or until YouTube figures out how to shoot data around the world faster or not convert it so heavily, then we can do live streams in 4K acceptably, but doesn't meet my standards for the chat delay. You lull too much says, I noticed there was less of a delay when I was on mobile compared to desktop. So how that works is if you're watching on a screen that is only 1080p and you have it set to 1080p or 720p or 1440p, you are getting a different feed coming to you from YouTube, which is faster converted, showing up on your screen. If you are on a screen that can handle 4K or you purposely set it to 4K, you will be getting the heavier feed, which will have a delay to it. So some of you watching this might be seeing it quicker if you're just watching it at 1080p. Of course, the signal coming from my computer is 4K, so you know it's a heavier bit rate, so it still takes longer to get to YouTube, is the idea. Edgar says, this message was sent 1 hour ago. Edgar, I'm sorry if it's really delayed for you over in Russia. I'm so sorry. I know you're usually our test. If its stream is working for you, Edgar, we know it's like pretty good for everyone else. So I appreciate it, Edgar. But yeah, if you're watching this later, obviously you're at the end of the video and it's too late to realize you just weren't watching in 4K and you could have been. So yeah, that's why I mentioned at the beginning. So yeah. Oh, you were using 1080p on everything. Interesting. That's weird, right? Yeah, sometimes I notice that too. If I have a stream on 2 different devices, it's like completely off. Like sometimes when I join like Fantasy Flight game streams or Chip Theory streams and I'm chatting on a laptop, but I have it playing on my TV. Yeah, it's like always the video's off. So like I mute one of them, of course. But yeah, it's always delayed. So I can't look at chat on both or I get like so confused. So I turn off chat on one of them, obviously on the TV, but yeah. So that's the unboxing. Oh, thank you to anyone who subscribed. During that, I see our subscriber count I think went up. I don't know, did it? Maybe. Anyways, thank you for subscribing, of course. Thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon and YouTube, allowing us to purchase expansions like this. This was not sent to us. We bought this with our own money, of course. The paints were sent to us from Army Painter. Thank you again to the folks over at Army Painter for that. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching this, for your support. I don't know. That's an unboxing. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I just want to play with this stuff. Unboxings are so weird for me, right? Because you guys know, like, I came to YouTube to make playthrough videos of games that nobody was really making playthrough videos of. And everybody and their brother unboxes stuff. So it's like, yeah, you can always find unboxings of things. That's like easy content to create, right? So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, you guys watch them. I mean, people always click like on them and stuff and get some good feedback on them and things. So I'll continue to do them for some products, but if all I was doing was unboxings for the amount of stuff that we get, I would like, yeah, it wouldn't have a lot of time to like play the games as much. So I prefer to play them. Anyways. Tried a laptop, a PC, and a phone. The phone was ahead of the other two. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, and then also, like, I guess it depends on network. Are those all going through the same router too, you know? Like, how does that work? Is some wired and some on Wi-Fi? Like, I don't know. It's so weird, right? So Brett wants to know when we're going to play this. So, again, for those that weren't here earlier, we are currently playing through the Haunting of Dale DLC campaign, the downloadable content campaign for the Shadowed Paths expansion. So the second campaign that requires the Shadowed Paths expansion. We're playing through that live on the channel on Tuesday nights usually. We've done 4 episodes, I think, already of that one. You can find the link for it below in the video description. We already played through the other campaigns. This campaign, we're playing them in order. So this one we're going to play after we're done the Haunting of Dale. I don't know how long the Haunting of Dale is going to take. If we're only playing like 1 scenario a week, I don't know how many scenarios it is once you're done it. Who knows? So we just play it with like no spoilers. We're just going to see how long it takes. One day it'll just end and we'll be surprised. It'll be fun. And then after that, I don't know if we'll go right into this. We'll see. It also depends how long it takes Mel to paint the minis from this one too. So we'll see. So I don't know. In a couple of months, maybe longer, we'll see. At some point this year, we'll just get into it. But obviously, we have to finish the Haunting of Dale campaign because you can have 2 campaigns on the go, I'm sure, in this game or more. It's just you'd have to dismantle all the decks and everything all the time, and we don't want to do that. We like keeping our stuff separated in baggies and things, and it would be just more setup and tear down for all the decks. And I don't want to do that. So, I definitely don't want to get into two, like I like following the story too. So I don't want to get confused into two different campaigns. So we definitely have to wait for Haunting of Dale to finish, which we were delayed on thanks to COVID and not having Kyle come over. We like playing this game with Kyle. So we like playing it at 3 players. So it also depends on when Kyle's available and stuff too. And I'm in no rush. This game is still great, still fun to play. I don't mind how long it takes us to play it. I'm in no rush to get to it. We have it. I'm happy. Also, I would probably like to wait till the next little box expansion comes out, assuming there is one. If there's another little box expansion for this that adds named villains, which you know there are, and some other cards are added to it, some other titles, you know, trinkets, boons, whatever, or burdens, I guess. It'd be good to wait till that next box comes out, because I really hate the way Fantasy Flight releases those little tiny boxes, those figure packs, after we're already done playing through the campaigns usually. And they usually have you substitute, like, you know, grab a regular orc, and this orc is the big bad villain. But 6 months later, they release a tiny little box with that villain in it that you've already played through that campaign. It's like so annoying, so annoying. So again, we'll wait probably for that expansion. I'm assuming that'll come out like later this year. Probably spring, I would assume that expansion will come out. If it is even coming out, I assume they're working on another little box. It just seems like, I don't know why they do that. It's super, super annoying. But yeah, we'll play it later. But again, so yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Eddie Har says, this is out, but it is oddly not on Amazon. Yeah, again, shipping crisis going around the world, who knows? Amazon shipment might be stuck on a ship still, you know? You never know. Asmodeus says this is out. FFG says this is out. In the US, January 21st. I know in Canada, this showed up sometime like a month ago or something. Like we've had this for a bit. Maybe not a month ago. Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe we've had it since December. Yeah, we might have had this for like a month now, or maybe a little more. I can't remember exactly when I went and picked it up, but maybe it was in January. Don't remember. I've picked up so many different things from the same store. I don't remember when I picked up what. I'm confused. Smelling too many decks of cards and rule books. Jackpot Man says, I haven't pre-ordered it. I hope to play it alongside you guys. You have months. You have months to get this, paint it, and get ready to play and be ahead of us. So you're not spoiled. So again, that's why I like playing these two a little later, so people can watch us after they've had a chance to play it, so we're not spoiling too much for them. And then you can see how our campaign is different based on choices we make or things that happen, which I think is really cool. I think it's really cool that happens. There's like branching paths and stuff in these last few campaigns. Eddie says, they said this is their last big box. Yeah, we discussed that earlier. But there will be continued support through smaller ones. Yep. That's what I thought. That's what I thought they said. So yeah, this last big box, I'm sure they'll have another figure pack coming, and then maybe smaller expansions, depending on how the demand of the game is, right? If people stop buying this game or caring about it, then they'll just stop selling it, right? They'll stop designing it. They'll work on something else. But yeah, last big box. So what that probably tells you is that they definitely want to pull people off this project to work on something else. So what do you think? What do you think they have coming? Like Star Wars app-driven, fully app-driven game? And they're having people move to that project? So then they're only going to have a few people working on this one, working on smaller expansions and DLC and stuff? That's usually what that signifies. When they announce the end of something, it's because all those people are being moved on to some other big project they're working on. So, you know, maybe it's just people who work on this also work on the Descent boxes, and those Descent boxes, those are a lot bigger. And the app, I guess, all that stuff is a lot larger. So maybe they need more people working on that to focus and get those out the door. Maybe it's just working on Descent Legends of the Dark. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah. Oh, okay. Jackpot Man says, yeah, more Descent. That's what I was thinking. It's either more Descent. They're definitely getting them focused on it. We know they're doing the next big box for Descent. They already teased that at the last Gen Con. But I'm surprised. Like, I know they had the Star Wars Imperial Assault, you know, like kind of like Descent 2nd edition. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're working on some kind of successor to Imperial Assault, you know, Star Wars Legends of the Dark, you know, something like that. New app, you know, fully app integrated, going to all the different places in Star Wars. Mandalorian expansions to Imperial Assault. I don't know. I thought they're done with the Imperial Assault line. I thought they said they're done with that one for sure. They keep printing it. I see it comes in stock. They keep coming out with stuff. So they're continuing to print that game because it's like kind of evergreen, keeps selling. But I think they're moving on to they're probably moved on to some other Star Wars project maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Eddie Har, you're crazy. Says, I literally today just got the very last thing I needed for Imperial Assault. I now own it all. You are insane, my friend. I would love to own it all, but I only have the core set. And I think that's all I may ever own because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'll go crazy trying to find all that stuff. I've done that already for Safer Living card games. Jumping in late, trying to find all the packs. Yeah, I've come to terms that like, I'm okay not owning everything for a game system and just moving on to something else and enjoying what I have and, you know, going as far as I want to go. And I use you guys, what you guys want to watch. And if you guys are like watching something a lot, then I will like justify it in my head to continue buying for that game. But like I started getting a certain way, if there were not players to play living card games with or players in my group not playing a certain game anymore, I would just stop buying stuff for that game because it would just collect dust. It would just sit there piling up. I'd rather spend that money on a new experience, some new game, some new system, you know? That's just the way I've been in the last like 5-ish years. Necro Comic Con says I went down it. Yeah, Imperial Assault came out, and because I didn't play Descent 2nd Edition more than a couple times, and my group didn't really seem interested in it at the time, that kept me away from Imperial Assault. I wanted it, but because it was based so heavily on Descent 2nd Edition, that right there was a red flag that, like, I knew even if I got that, if no one's playing Descent with me, how am I going to find people to play that game with me, you know? It's the whole one versus many kind of idea. But I know that's a different kind of game a little bit, but stay tuned. We're going to play that on the channel, Imperial Assault. That's one that's been requested a lot on the channel over the last, like, whatever, 5 years or so it's been out. So yeah, people have been asking that one up to this day. Like, you know, a couple weeks ago, people were asking about it. So yeah, we're definitely gonna play that game on the channel at some point. I don't know if that's the next one we play with Kyle after this. I don't know. We'll see. It says the path of the LCG is not the path of lightness. Yes, exactly. Oh, Eddie says in 75 years I will have painted it all. His whole Imperial Assault collection. Oh my god. Eddie Har also says they did say that they were before Mandalorian hit. Now I wonder if Mandalorian's success had them scrambling at Fantasy Flight Games to try to come up with some way. And I'm so shocked that the expansion for Outer Rim wasn't heavily focused and licensed on all the Mandalorian stuff. So I don't know what the licensing deal is there, you know, but I'm surprised FFG hasn't announced something already. I thought we were going to see something at the last Gen Con. I feel like we'll see something at this Gen Con, where they'll maybe have even a contained board game based on it, or, you know, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? But I'm surprised they haven't jumped on that. And like, you know, the popularity of that show, FFG did the same thing. Game of Thrones hit. It did take a couple of years for them to really start getting the Game of Thrones train going, after they realized the success it had. And I'm sure the Lord of the Rings show this year on Amazon, that if it's good, that will definitely be a boost for things like this game. And that's why I think they did the revised core set, was to have a new product, and they're going to revise some of the expansion content to make it easier and more digestible for some new players coming along to the hobby, who start Googling Lord of the Rings after they watch the show. So Fantasy Flight Games is not dumb. I'm just surprised it's taken so long with the Star Wars Mandalorian stuff. Eddie says, me and my game group prefer Imperial Assault over Mansions, Descent, and Lord of the Rings. We like them all, but Imperial Assault with its app is superior in our opinion. Okay. I haven't played yet, Eddie. I'm so excited to dive into that. I'm so late to the party, but I'm so excited to try it finally. I thought it was a game I'd never get to play. But same thing with Arkham Horror, the living card game. I purposely avoided that game for like 5 years. And now we've played a whole bunch of it. I love it. I still had a blast. And you know what I didn't have, and what I won't have with Imperial Assault, in generally, I don't have to wait for those huge delays of content. Like when you're buying into a Fantasy Flight Games expandable product, and then all of a sudden, you know, you buy the core set, and then you're like waiting 6 months to a year for the first expansion sometimes because they just can't get their stuff together. And then you're like, man, you get kind of bored and the hype kind of drops, or then, you know, they come out with a cycle of content and then you're waiting another 6-8 months. There's delays, waiting for the next content. And like that kills some of these games. But when you jump into a game that's been going strong for a few years, man, you jump into it. All the content's like there. You just have to find it, but you don't have to wait for it to release. You don't have to go through the whole spoiler article, wait for it to come out, get everyone excited. I'm okay with that excitement stuff, but there's just too much stuff coming out. It's hard to keep up with it. I just love being able to binge it. It's like the Netflix idea, right? Just, you don't have to wait for the next episode to come out next week, you know, or the next movie to come out next year, the sequel to come out in 5 years. You just grab the next thing when you're ready to play it. I love that. I love coming into games late. I've been having fun doing it. So yeah. That's something I've learned in the hobby, is like the kind of like patience. It's still, if the game is great, it still will be great years later, right? Which is kind of cool. So I hope some people aren't afraid to get an Imperial Assault, you know, like we are. And I hope it's still good and still holds up after some of these newer games we played. We'll see. We will see. The LCG path does lighten your wallet though, says Edward. Dan says it could have required an addendum to the Star Wars IP copyright, more money perhaps. That's what I was thinking, like maybe it's a side license thing, you know? And I'm sure the same people that deal with the licenses for Mandalorian content and stuff are dealing with it on all fronts, right? Like everybody is coming to them like, whoa, I want to make a Baby Yoda toy and clothing and all this stuff, right? So I'm sure they just were like overwhelmed with like interest there. So like maybe the same people that FFG deals with are also like super busy trying to license that same Mandalorian stuff to other industries and things like that. You know, comic deals, movies, like who even knows what they're doing, you know, like crazy stuff with that IP, I'm sure. Strike while the iron's hot. Or maybe Star Wars is like, nope, we have a good thing here. We don't want to, you know, tarnish it. So maybe they're being like super slow and careful with everything. Like maybe FFG is trying to put together a bunch of different game ideas and trying to like present them, and they're not getting like the green light, you know, it's just taking a long time. Also, FFG is not the big studio, like it's kind of been shaved down a little bit, I think. So maybe they're a little more slow because they have a lot in the pipeline right now and there's not as many people there, maybe. I don't know. I'm just shocked that Mandalorian announcement for Outer Rim expansion wasn't like a thing, and they just announced that other expansion. And I know, you know, you can still play as Mandalorians and all that, and it's still, Outer Rim is like the best feeling game to play the Mandalorian. If you like the Mandalorian show, go get the game Star Wars Outer Rim from Fantasy Flight Games, and you're playing like bounty hunter, you're playing like smuggler, like you're doing all that stuff. It's very good. I feel like it's the game that you get that feel of what that show is about. But I could be wrong. Maybe there's other games. I don't know if anyone has any suggestions related to that. But that's what I feel. But yeah, I'm just surprised it wasn't like, boom, Star Wars Outer Rim, Mandalorian. You got Mando on the box, you know, Baby Yoda in the corner. You know, here we go. Come and buy it. But maybe there's still, maybe that's the next expansion. Maybe they're gonna have another expansion come out really quick after that one. I'm just surprised. I'm just so shocked it wasn't part of that. But I bet they've been working on the Outer Rim expansion for like way before Mandalorian became a thing. Like became popular or whatever. Eddie's saying, I'm debating with myself whether or not to get the Lord of the Rings LCG. I've never played an LCG and not really card games in general. I've seen some videos and it seems a bit convoluted. Yeah, it is. Yep. You'll see us play it tomorrow night. We're playing it tomorrow night. We're going to dive back into it for the first time in like 6 years. I played it last night for the first time in 6 years, not counting the digital implementation of it, which is different but similar. Yeah, it's yeah. But it's not much worse than like Marvel Champions, the Marvel version of the cooperative living card game. But yeah. Yeah, card games is just like, you know, the paper card version of like Imperial Assault. Same idea, right? Like you're buying a core set, you're chasing down expansions to build out your content. to have more stuff to play with, more variability, whether it's competitive or cooperative LCGs. But yeah, if card games aren't your thing, totally understandable. I love card games more than I like board games and stuff, but like I still love board games. But I'm a sucker for just playing with cards. I don't know. I just like it. But yeah, they're not for everybody. And I wouldn't, if you're interested in trying an LCG, Eddie, find which one you like the theme of best. So if you like Arkham Horror, you know, try the Arkham Horror living card game if you want cooperative, or try Lord of the Rings if you really like the Lord of the Rings theme, or Marvel Champions. Just pick one of those and buy the core set for it. Or you can probably find a used older core set for some of them just to try it. Like you can try it for like 20, 30 bucks by just buying like an older core set or even a used core set online. That's my best way to recommend it. But there's no better way to know if it's for you than to just try it. And that's why they have those core sets. But again, the revised core sets are a little more pricey because they have all this stuff in them for 4 players. So if you're just playing 1 or 2 players, you know, you might want to just grab an older core set used, try it out for 20, 30 bucks. If you like it, you know, it's fine. Worst case, you probably could sell. If you bought a revised core set, try it out, somebody will buy that off you. You could probably sell that to somebody after if you don't want to go further. But the core set is like a good way to try the game out, do a little deck building, try the factions, try some standard staple cards that are still staples in the card pool, play a couple scenario or 3 different scenarios that are all different, different levels of difficulty, and find out. The thing with Lord of the Rings is it's a challenging game. It's meant to be punishing. Not as punishing, I don't think, as Arkham Horror, but it is meant to be on the harder end of things. There is an easier mode, but it's like Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth is not as difficult of a game. Obviously, you can crank it up to higher levels, but it is not meant to be like a kick your butt hardcore game as much as Lord of the Rings Living Card Game is. That game was like right off the hop was meant to be like for hardcore players to be very challenging, min-maxing your deck, all that kind of stuff. But you can drop the difficulty down if you need to. But yeah, just keep that in mind too. It's like a more of a difficult game if that's not a thing for you. Like you will fail and have to replay missions, tweak your deck, change cards in your deck, swap heroes out on purpose. Like it's a trial and error kind of stuff. And if that's for you, but you have to understand, it's like, it's quite a deep rabbit hole, my friend. Quite a deep rabbit hole. Oh, James says director slash producer Favreau. I forget his first name. Is it Jim Favreau or something? Has partial rights to The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, so they would need his permission too. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Velko says, I'm a Star Wars fan, but also reluctant to try a Star Wars card game as well. Is there a current Star Wars card game that's actually like in print? Because I know the LCG, they squashed that to try to sell that collectible dice version, which didn't last very long. Is there a current like Star Wars themed card game going on right now? There's not, right? Or is there another company that's producing a Star Wars card game? I feel like all those are like kind of dead right now. Like if you want to play Star Wars like lifestyle games right now, the new ones that constantly come out with content is like that tabletop wargaming one. And like X-Wing, right? Do they still make X-Wing stuff? Like I know all that stuff went over to that new publisher, Atomic Mass. So I don't know how long it's taken them to get new product going for some of those games, but yeah. Jason Keen's here. Hey Jason, how's it been? Says, I love your final thoughts video on Role Player Adventures and UML put out a while back. I ordered the game last night. Awesome, Jason. I hope you have fun with it. I hope you have fun with it. Yeah, that was a fun experience. I liked it all the way through. That was a very good game. Again, know what you're getting into. Role Player Adventures, right? Heavy story. Has some game in there. Like there's a game to it, but it's like if you're not into the theme and the story, or you don't like Role Player the board game, yeah, might not be the game for you. Edward says for Star Wars, none currently in print. Destiny's, the dice one, is the last one. Yeah. Oh, Destiny's. That's what it was called, right? Yeah, the one where it's like dice, you know, it's a collectible card game, but with dice you're trying to collect. And that scared me away from that. when I saw that FFG was getting back into collectible card games. I was like, no. I was debating the Star Wars card game. I didn't buy a core set, but I was getting close as I saw it kept going. I had friends who played it and was like, oh, I might get into that. And then they announced it was like wrapping up because this other game was coming out or whatever for Destiny. So I just was like, no thanks. Yeah, Star Wars Legion is the tabletop wargaming one. Star Wars Armada is like a zoomed out, bigger ships kind of version of X-Wing that at tournaments never finishes, which is super unappealing to me. How you play a tournament game of Armada and you're literally just like, let's just get through a bunch of turns before time runs out and see how we're looking. Like that to me is weird. Just because the game is so epic, right? You would, if you played a full game of Armada, you could only get through like one round of a tournament per day. Is how I was explained to it from other players at Worlds and stuff. But X-Wing is very cool. X-Wing, that's like the sweet spot. I love that game. I never played it competitively, but I have a whole bunch of stuff for the first version of it. But I didn't get into any of the second wave stuff or second revision or second edition or whatever they're calling it. But it's good to hear it's still going strong. Definitely a good entry point for tabletop wargamers. People who like want to adapt from board gaming to tabletop wargaming. It's like X-Wing does a good job, I feel, of giving people that feel. Get out of here, Dan. Get out of here. Nobody's winning a trip to my basement. All right. Nobody's winning a trip to my basement. Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sad to see this is the last big box expansion for this game. But I mean, this game has a ton of content. Like this game has a ton of content, enough minis, enough tiles. Mansion of Madness 2nd edition, I have all of that now, and it's just, there's too many miniatures, too many tiles, too much stuff in that game. To like for storage, for setting it up, for getting into a campaign. So I'm glad they're kind of like slowing it down on this one, because there's a lot of stuff. So I was like half sad when I heard this was the last big box expansion for Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth, but I'm also kind of like okay with it. A trip to the first floor. Oh, Velco's saying, or play Star Wars Rebellion and get the entire Star Wars trilogy on your table. Yes. Plus a little bit of the prequel stuff for Rogue One, right? A little bit of Rogue One in there to expand your trilogy. Get out of here, Brian. Brett says, just throwing this out there, there's a Journeys of Middle-earth. This is a Journeys of Middle-earth stream and we're indulging in Star Wars. Okay, the stream's over. We're just hanging out after Brett. This is what we do here. On any Fantasy Flight game stream, all fans of Fantasy Flight games usually are fans of other IPs they make. You're a fan of usually that publisher. They're my favorite publisher. Fantasy Flight Games is still. They're still my favorite. They got me into the hobby. They make some of the best stuff in the industry. You know, they're not perfect. But I'm just a huge fan of the publisher. So when people come in and bring up other things, or we're trying to compare what we think will happen with this game based on other games they've had in the past, it always starts spiraling off into like side conversations about other things. And that's why this one we're talking about, like, why are they wrapping up this game? Are they going to work on something else? And then that's spun off into Star Wars, because that's another big IP that they make lots of games for, right? So just so you know, Brett, that's why it might happen sometimes on like Arkham streams. Arkham Horror Living Card Game streams will all of a sudden start talking about Marvel Champions because it's another co-op LCG, or Lord of the Rings, we start talking about Arkham Horror because, they have similar games systems, right? They're based off each other, like re-themings of the same kind of games. So it definitely transfers. And like, sometimes you'll find people when I'm explaining a certain game to them, like this game, Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth, a lot of people have heard of Mansion of Madness 2nd edition, and that's a big game, been around for years, but not as many people know of this game or will be interested in it. But when the show kicks off later this year, I'm sure people will be like, oh, I want to play a Lord of the Rings game. This game, I'll be able to explain it to people who've been around the channel for a while as, this is just like Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, but a adventure version for Lord of the Rings, not as much of a dungeon crawler. Boom. Some people just understand that. I always like to compare things that are similar so people can understand, have something to relate it to, right? So that's where it is. Oh, Brett says, I understand the Star Wars world, can get on the same page finally. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm super into the fantasy stuff. I love the fantasy themes, but yeah, I like Star Wars too. I like Star Wars. Oh, no worries, Jason. No worries. We're done the job today. I'm just hanging out. We're just hanging out for a few more minutes, just chatting casually. It's all good. It's all good. No, you didn't hijack anything. That's totally fine. If anyone tuned into this later to watch the unboxing, they left already. They just got what they needed. They're gone. If you're still hanging out and you're watching this later, hello. Turn on the chat archive and you can see everyone chatting along and know what I'm reading and whatever everyone's talking about. But yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Now, if I was in the middle of talking about cards for this game, going through the cards during the unboxing, and then you came in and was like, Rob, I want to know this about Role Player Adventures, then I'd be like, I'd probably ignore it, you know, to not go off the rails on it then. But yeah, no, I appreciate it at the end of the stream. It's fine. You know that. You know that. Yeah, this is why I don't put the subscriber number on the screen usually. I'm not a fan of it because it fluctuates so much. Fluctuates all over the place, right? Like people unsubscribe or accounts go away, you know, YouTube cleans up accounts, things like that. You know, people clean up their subscription feed. Sometimes the subscribers fly up. Sometimes there's a few that leave. It's a thing. I do the same thing, right? I subscribe to a bunch of channels. They stop making content. I unsubscribe, or they start making different content I'm not interested in. I don't need that in my subscription feed. I'll leave. And I know people do it. To me, it's totally fine. It's part of the YouTube, like, biology, you know? Just like ever growing and shrinking. It's totally fine. But yeah, if you sit there and stare at that number, it will drive you crazy. I just like to kind of leave it in the background and check it every now and then and see that it's growing. As long as it's growing, you know, over time, I'm happy. It's good. I don't care if a bunch leave and a bunch show up later. It's all good. Yeah, you'll drive yourself crazy. It's like the stock market, man. Set it and forget it, or you'll go insane. Set it and forget it. Long term, I'm in it for the long term is the way I like to go. Set it and forget it. Janet says, speaking of your favorite publisher, did you see the new Chip Theory logo? Yes, Chip Theory Games is also just underneath, just my second favorite publisher. Yes, I did see that. Mel showed me it and I was like, yeah, I was rude. Mel was like, hey, did you see this? Chip Theory's new logo. And I'm like, that's great. What am I doing with that information? Who cares? Tell me about a new game. I don't care about their damn logo. Tell me about a game. Yeah, who cares? Companies changing logos just doesn't do it for me anymore. I'm so over that. So over it. But yes, it does look better than their kind of older logo that's like was a little outdated. This one looks a little more like professional, I feel. But yeah. So it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the other one was kind of weird. Yeah, but Dan says, I pledged to never unsub Rob. You were stuck with me. But you can't control what YouTube does to you, right? So like, I don't have faith, Dan, that you won't do something on YouTube to get your account, you know, deleted or something. So you can't always say you'll always be subscribed. But I guess you could always create another account and subscribe to that one and stuff. So I know what you mean. I trust what you mean, but you know, don't make promises you can't keep for sure. Run, you fool. Sean's message. What did you say, Sean? Rob and Mel, ever do a visual walkthrough of your game collection? I wish I could, but I don't have the room. No, my game collection is it's a mess. No. I would need to take like another week off streaming just to organize my game collection. Because like we have kind of a system. I have shelves like all over the house where there's games I need to work on, games I need to wait till we have more players that can play on video, games that like I want to try. I have games that like we'll come back to later. I have games that just I want to keep in my collection on a shelf, but it's like all over the place. Also, when I last filmed with my board game, some of my board game shelves in the background of a video, I like rearranged them, tried to organize them a little bit, but then like that made a mess of everything. And I always have to go find, like sometimes we play a new version of game, I'll go find the older version, and then like it's a mess. They're all over the place in multiple rooms and everything. Yeah, I have to organize my collection before I ever take a camera to it. That is for sure. It is embarrassingly messy. There is some organization to it, but it's not pretty. It's definitely not pretty. So yeah. I have like a table upstairs, the games piled all up on it, a bunch open, some spread on a table. I have some on shelves. I got drawers full of like smaller games all over the place. Got shelves with family games and kids games. Yeah, it's crazy. I can see like right where I'm sitting, I got 2 Kalaxes, 2 bookshelves, 3 bookshelves. I got like a little shelf that's assembled for games that we're currently streaming. Yeah. Yeah, it's messy. Yeah, we're at a board game house, not a shelf. Yeah. So no, I haven't done that. I have not done that. At my Board Game Geek, like I started putting my games in the collection on Board Game Geek, but then like it was hard to keep it up to date, and it's just like that's time I don't want to waste trying to manage like a digital collection of games. I have enough trouble managing the physical collection, so I'm fine with that. I have to go through and like get rid of stuff. I still have to do that. I didn't get to do that on my time off, which I was also always planning to do, but other things came up, so. Jackpot Man, I know what you mean 100%, says, you could do a live stream of you and Mel organizing your games. People are weird. They will watch. I know this. Dice Tower lives off this. Dice Tower will stream and film anything. I see that stuff pop up in my subscription feed. Tom Vassell films like anything. He's talking about a shelf, him moving games, him, opening games, him dropping game component. Like, yeah, it's just him, daughters painting games. Like he has tons of these videos of just him, just everything related to his games. It's crazy. So yeah, and people are watching. I always see it pop up where it's like they're moving things on a shelf and it's like a live stream and hundreds of people are watching. I'm like, oh my God. But then I'm watching for like 20 minutes and then I realize why. I'm like, I'm curious to see what games are there, And so people will just hang out in the chat and talk and stuff. It's just a place to hang out. I know this. This is like same with some of the stuff. This is the unboxings. Why I do the unboxings live? Because I wouldn't do these unboxings if I wasn't doing them live, because then I wouldn't have you guys here chatting and stuff. So I totally understand it. It's definitely relatable. But yeah, us organizing our game collection, yeah, it could be a thing. I don't know, man. I have some wide angle lenses, but I don't think I have any that wide to capture the pile of games we would be sorting through. But yeah. Eric in the chat says, I got more games in my closet than clothes. Yes, Jackpot Man, it's mesmerizing. Exactly. You just get like stuck. You're just like watching, like, what am I watching? Like, why am I doing this? I usually put it on when I'm like working on something, and then I'm just realized like, wait, I've been watching them move games on a table, for like 20 minutes. But yeah, the Dice Tower has proven that those kind of streams can work for sure. But I prefer just to do streams that I feel like I want to do. Not just about like pumping the content, not just like trying to have more videos in a day, But again, I don't have a team of people too, right? So it's totally understandable. No. Dan says, but if Rob isn't wearing pants during that stream, I'm out. Say no to chicken legs. I'm wearing shorts right now. I am wearing shorts right now, I promise. Chicken legs are under these tables, for sure. Under the table, for sure. Yeah, Edward True. Yeah, the Dice Tower is like, yeah, a whole different thing. I can't even be compared. Because they're like a team of people. They have a whole house just dedicated to that. So that makes sense. Like if I had that many rooms and that many camera setups and had people who would set up the streams for me and people to organize the games for me, people to learn the games for me, to show me the games. Like imagine how many more videos I could do if I had that. But I'm just a 1.5 person team here. Like Mel helps out a lot, but yeah. So when it's like I can only do so many streams, it's like I obviously want to do ones selfishly more that I want to do. So I want to play games, right? I'm in this hobby to play games mainly. So when I'm like making an unboxing, it's like I could have been playing a game today, right? That's how I look at it. But I thought I could jam this in before we played tonight, but then that got moved. But yeah, I value, like, I just want to do things I want to do mainly, right? But I do need to experiment more and try some different things, that's for sure. But yeah. But yeah, it is interesting to see, like, sometimes, like, you know, like, go on Twitch, man. You'll see what people will watch people do on Twitch. It's, like, crazy. There's communities out there around everything. It's crazy. That's so cool. Dan says, Mel constitutes a team of people, by the way. Sure, Dan. Sounds like you need an unpaid intern. No, I don't. That's fine. No, I don't. It's fine. Oh, I know. I have interns in the chat for sure that promote likes. And here's the crazy part. So Dan, you're saying you're an intern, but the funny thing is, like, you support the channel. So technically you're paying me and then you're in the chat promoting the channel. So it's like, you're like an intern on steroids. Like that's like beyond, like interns, you know, like they, you know, are usually not really pulling their weight. But yeah, Dan, you definitely pull your weight. But then again, I guess that kind of evens out for all the trouble you cause too. So I don't know. Maybe it's, yeah, maybe it's look, I'll come cook with you. Yeah. So, oh man, I can't cook worth crap. I ain't doing any cooking streams. That's for sure. Locator, you got no competition from me on that for sure. But I do love that exists. I love when unique things like that I see. That's cool. Oh, I think that's so cool. Sorry, Rob, your math is off. Mel's painting is 3 jobs alone. Yeah. Oh, her painting like all the games and stuff. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, true. All right, so we're a 2-man team, a 2-person team, I guess, is what I'd say. I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm gonna get out of here. And yeah, so we're gonna go play some Lord of the Rings living card game tonight off stream. We'll be back tomorrow with the episode for that. Let's see. So yeah, tomorrow is revised core set campaign. We start that. We're hopefully going to get to play the 2 little scenarios. So we're going to play 5 missions. Again, if we fail, we have to replay them, supposedly, is how that campaign works, because, you know, it's from 10 years ago. But we'll just, you know, we can maybe fail forward after we fail a couple times, if that's the case with the 3rd scenario or something, just so we can play the last 2. Or we can treat it as a mini campaign after. And then we are playing some Gloomhaven Digital on Thursday evening. Friday afternoon, more Gloomhaven Digital with KNG. Then we're continuing our Lord of the Rings campaign for the card game on Saturday. Sunday, playing Ancient Chronicles, continuing the campaign for that. And hopefully next Tuesday, we'll be continuing the campaign for this game, Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth. But that's what's scheduled so far. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, just go to the main page, click the little title down below, and then you can set reminders for these streams. Or the best way is to subscribe and then turn on the notification bell. So you see the stuff in your subscription feed. You'll get notifications when we go live. So yeah. If you can prime, you can cook. Yeah. I also varnish too. Because all that takes is spraying. I can spray and pray on the miniature, but fine details I cannot do. But yeah, thank you all for being here watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out here after the stream. I hope that unboxing was fun. Not as fun, of course, as the Lord of the Rings card game one, because that got a little crazy. But yeah, if you're looking for playthroughs of this game, again, video description, there's playlist links down there. You'll find us playing through this game, and we'll be playing through it in the future. So you want to see the Spreading War campaign, again, tune into the channel. If you want to see Mel painting it, stay tuned to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you can find your way back. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out, everybody. It helps the channel grow. And of course, again, thank you everyone for sponsoring the channel through Patreon and or YouTube by clicking that join button down below. We appreciate it. And yeah. Mark, yes, you missed it. You're late. How dare you? How dare you show up late? But yeah, not the longest stream ever. Just a couple hours, just an unboxing. Yeah, this is a 2 hour and 20-minute stream is considered like, yeah, that's a quick and short stream on this channel. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it wasn't our, 5+ hours or 4+ hours at least. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.